Hello. Okay. Possibly? Okay, cool.
People think I'm trash, but they're wrong. Today I'm just an aluminum can, but one day I could be a stadium. One day I could be a stadium.
Okie dokes. Hello. All right. I see the chat. Full city not loading for you. Maybe by refreshing. I don't know. Should be good. I think it's all going well. I can see it. If I pull up. I think it's all going well. Yeah, I can see it. If I pull up. It says it's live. See. Try it again. Oh, you're on YouTube. Let me see if it's on YouTube. Okay. Yeah, it's live on YouTube. It looks like it is. Hey, hello. All right, hello, hello. Give me just 1 second. Still giving messages. Okay, cool. Alrighty, hello everybody. Welcome. We'll be doing some coding today. Hope that. Oop, wait, not that. Hope that's good with everybody. Can everybody see? It should be on Paint right now. I think y'all got it. Looks okay to me. I think y'all are good over there. Okay. All right. So I'm just gonna start drawing a little scene here just to help explain the game better, and I'm gonna wait for just a couple more people. They're gonna swing by just to, wait to see if anybody else. I don't want to start explaining things and then have a bunch of other people join. That would not be good. So, can y'all hear me? The people who are here, can you hear me? Okay. I don't know if anybody's even here. I'm just a crazy person talking to myself. Maybe not. Who knows? Little bucket. Oh shoot! Nope. Close my little hole there. All right. Y'all hear me? Great to see some official cast. Yes, this is. This is concept. No, this is a tool for me to. I'm going to use a notepad to explain how the game works. To explain the rules to everybody, and then you guys are going to help me, because two eyes working on code is a lot better than one set of eyes. So if you guys understand the rules, then it helps me. So all right, well, there's enough people here to start explaining things, so I'm just going to jump right into it. Okay, so the game we're going to be coding today is called Cadillac, and it's a 4-person card game. These black things represent the 4 people that will be playing the card game, and it's a gambling game. Each person has 3 lives, so to speak. When you actually play the game in real life, you usually use like dollar bills or quarters or whatever amount of money that you want to gamble with. I'm not a very wealthy person, so I play with quarters. But anyway, so every person has 3 quarters. In game though, when I program it in, you'll be able to select how much money you want to put as like your life or whatever, right? Anyway, so Every person has 3 lives. And the cards, everybody gets dealt 3 cards. I'm going to code these and color these brown. Everybody gets dealt 3 cards. Every single player gets dealt 3 cards. I'm sorry, I'm not the best MS painter out there, so you'll forgive me, I hope. He gets 3 cards. They get 3 cards. All right, everybody's got 3 cards. And then the rest of the deck is the green box in the center. That's the rest of the deck. And then this blue space, 1 card from this deck is the green deck is face down, so you can't see what these cards are. And then the top card of the green deck gets flipped over, and you'll see the face card right here. So just to indicate that you can see it, I'm just going to put a circle, so you can see what card this is. And then say it's this guy's turn right here. He starts the game. This person will look at their 3 cards. The goal of the game is to make 31. It's to get to 31 as close as you can. It's kind of like blackjack. Instead of 21 though, it's 31. You get as close as you can to 31, and the closer to 31 you are, the winner you are. And if you get 31 exactly instead of blackjack, it's called Cadillac when you hit 31. So this person looks at their cards, and assuming they don't have Cadillac, the way you get Cadillac is by, like, you know, having 2 face cards and an ace or something like that. But in order for the cards to add together, they all have to be of the same suit. So that's the important part. The cards only add together if they're of the same suit. So this person looks at their cards, say, you know, they don't have Cadillac, they don't have 31, but they've got, you know, just some, I don't know, a couple of random cards. What they'll do is they can either then draw this card that they can see that's face up. They can draw that and put it into their hand. Obviously, whether or not they draw it depends on what card it is and what card they have, you know, what cards they have in their hands. But they can draw this one, or they can take a chance and draw from this green deck, but they don't know what card it is. But once they draw that card, they have to keep it. And then once they draw a card, you always have to make a move when it's your turn. You can either draw one of the face down or face up cards, or you can knock, and we'll talk about knocking here in a second. But anyway, say they draw a card, and now they have 4 cards in their hand, right? They have to choose one of their cards to discard. Now they can choose the card that they just picked up. That's allowed. You can do that. But they could also discard one of the ones that was originally in their hand, and that card gets discarded to this circle pile. So that's how this blue pile changes. When people discard cards, they go to this blue pile. Now, once they do that, once they discard a card, it's the end of their turn. You can only knock at the beginning of your turn. And what knocking means is you're done picking up cards, and you think you're the closest to 21, so you literally knock on the table, indicating that you're closest to 21 or closest to 31, and that's it. And then everybody else at the table, though, after this guy knocks, everybody else at the table has one more turn to try to get closer, but then you don't. When it gets back to you, it's over. Everybody shows their cards, and whoever is closest wins. Well, it's more like losing. The goal of this game is to survive. If this person knocked and they end up also having the lowest score, they end up not, say this person knocked and their score was 20, everybody else had like 22, 24, 26, or something like that. If this person who knocked, had the lowest score, they lose 2 of their quarters, and these 2 quarters go to the pot in the center. And those are 2 of their lives gone, so it gets pretty intense that way. And then now say somebody else who didn't knock, like, I don't know, say this guy right here, say he lost, he had the lowest score, but since he's not the one who knocked, he only loses 1 quarter. He only puts 1 quarter into the pot. So that's how it works, and the turns go around like that. That's pretty much everything you need to know. I think I've covered everything. So it's a really fun game. It gets kind of intense with the strategy because you want to try to see, okay, this guy's picking up, this guy over here, he's picking up clubs, so I don't want to give, if I'm this guy, this guy over here is picking up clubs, I don't want to give him clubs, so I'm going to, try to discard, I don't know, hearts or something, so something that he can't use, and so on and so forth. So it gets kind of interesting with the strategy, and unfortunately, the AI will not be that complex at the very beginning. I'd like to eventually get it to that point, but it's it's definitely not going to start out that way. It's going to be very rudimentary, very basic. So hopefully that was an easy enough explanation that you guys could follow. Sorry for kind of the crude drawing, but at least now you kind of have a basic understanding of how the game works. So it should be fun. So hopefully y'all will like to play this in game when it comes out. But this is the game we're working on today, called Cadillac. So without further ado, let's jump into the code. So the code, I've started working on it. We're not starting from scratch here. A lot of you probably wish we were, you sadists. By the way, if you're one of the people who, oh, thank you, person, whoever, I can't see, but thank you, whoever just subscribed or followed or whatever it is. Thank you. But if you're one of the people who said that I should do a programming stream, I'm glad you well, I'm not glad you suggested it. I didn't want to do a programming stream because I'm scared about, I'm very self-conscious about my program and my code. I don't like people looking at it. I'm very nervous about it. As you can see, like pretty much every single line right now has comments because I'm worried that people won't understand what I'm doing if I don't put in comments. But just to explain what's happening, this source code for this card game is going to be written in C. That's why we're in this IDE called Eclipse. This is going to be written in C, not Papyrus. And then I will take the C code once it's complete and pass it off to Scrivener. This is the workflow that we've created. Scrivener is the other guy who works on the gambling mob with me. We'll take the code and the C code, and I'll pass it over to Scrivener. Scrivener will then do kind of a rough and dirty port into Papyrus, and it'll be in a very rough state. And then, thanks to all the effort we put into Blackjack, which is already released, we have this beautiful framework set up, and it's very easy to take the rough port of C into Papyrus and then implement it in a very smooth, good way like you see with Blackjack and stuff like that. So that's our workflow. So I work on the C source code, and then he ports it to Papyrus and then polishes it up to work in the engine, and we're on our way. That's the plan. No, the quarters are not cards. The quarters are like lives. The quarters are how many lives you have. You get 3 quarters or 3 lives. But in this, in Fallout, when you play it in Fallout, you'll be able to choose basically how much each life is worth, right? So 1 life could be worth 1 cap, or 1 life could be worth 100 caps if you have like a lot of money or something like that. I'll just, you know what, so like I said, this is, I've been studying on this for a while. I'm actually decently far into it. It's not, to be honest with you, I'm actually sort of kind of almost done. It's at about 1,000. We're at 1,569 lines of code, so it's a pretty big code. I mean, there's some white space I could cut out, but it's a lot of code. What I've done so far is I've set up a lot of a frame right now, and I've actually completely finished coding the players, like the code necessary for the player character or the player to work. So that's all said and done. And then now what's left for me to do is just code the AI stuff. That's literally all that's left, and that's sort of kind of easy, sort of kind of not easy. It's got ups and downs, but this is where we're going to start today, is this is where we're starting, this giant blank space. But really quickly, before we do start writing, I want to show you guys what this source code does currently. So I'm going to build it. Oh, that's right, I already built it. And then I'm going to run it. Like I said, this is in C, this is not in Papyrus, so bear with me. So what happens is, it says, welcome to Cadillac, would you like to play the game? 1 for yes, 2 for no. I'm going to put in 1 because I want to show you guys the game, and then it's going to ask you, this is essentially what it'll look like in Fallout 2. It's going to ask you how much would you like to bet. You get 3 lives, which each have a value based on your total bet, and I just programmed myself to have 1,000 caps, but obviously in the game you'll have whatever caps you have in the game. So I could put 0 to exit the game. I could press 1, which is 3 caps per life, which is 9 caps total because you get 3 lives, right? So if each life is 3 caps and you have 3 lives, 9 caps, hopefully everybody here can follow that math, I would hope. And then so on and so forth. 10 caps, 30 caps, 50 caps, 100 caps. There might be more or less options. It might be like 1 cap per life up to like 300 caps per life, so you could bet like 900 caps in one go. That'd be pretty high, but these don't really matter as far as the code goes right now. Those kind of determine the payout, obviously. But let's go ahead and press 1 just for 3 caps per life, and then it's going to shuffle the cards. It's going to shuffle it. Then once the cards are shuffled, it'll deal the cards, and then the cards have been dealt, and it tells you, and then you will see what cards you have. In this case, I've been dealt a 6 of spades, a 5 of spades, and an 8 of clubs, and the table card, which is the card that's face up that I mentioned to you earlier. Um, but the table card is the one that you can see, the one that's face up. I'm trying to read the chat. But in the green, put their cards. So you pick cards from the green pot. Why is it that you put your lives in as well? Oh no, sorry. The green like deck is just where you draw cards from. The pot is like the pot of money, just like I don't know how to explain. Like the pot of money for winning. So like the winner gets the pot of money, a separate pot, not the same pot. The green is the deck of cards that you draw from, and then there's a separate pot that you win the money from, if that makes sense, right? So like when you lose your lives, they go into a pot, and then the winner, whoever the last man standing of the game, gets the pot, gets all the lives, gets the money. Cool, we good? Okay, moving on. So anyway, so I've been dealt this, and then I get to decide, okay, what do I want to do? So when you only have 3 options, right? You can either knock, which says you're done, you think you're closest to 21 or you're 31, like that's it. Or I can pick up the card that I can read, the table card, and then discard a card. Or I can draw a card that I can't see, just a random card from the deck, and then discard a card. So let's see. I've got 2 spades, and the table card is a spade. So let's see, 9 plus 5 plus 6, gotta do some mental math here, it doesn't do it for you, is 20. 20 is pretty good. So I'm definitely gonna pick up the table card. So I'm gonna press 1 and pick up the table card. So now I've got the 9 of spades in my hand, and I'm gonna discard one of my previous cards. Now remember, they all have to be the same suit in order to add together, right? So I want to have all spades, so I'm gonna go ahead and just discard the 8 of clubs. So I'm gonna do that, and then my turn is over. So now I have the 6 of spades, the 5 of spades, and the 9 of spades, and once you discard a card, that's it, your turn's in. Now it's player 2's turn. Player 2 picked up the 8 of clubs from the table, and player 2 discarded a 7 of hearts. So I've already started some of the player 2 AI. By the way, again, it's not that the AI for each player is going to be the same. I'll try to flesh it out more as we go on, but it's going to, once I finish the AI for one, I'm just going to copy and paste the AI for the rest, because as you saw, we're at 1,500 and something lines. If I tried to just make every AI slightly different, it's just going to be a gigantic pain in my butt. Eventually, yes, I want to flesh it out, make it cooler, make it more in-depth, make it more smart, but good lord, if you've ever tried this, it is hard, and it is time-consuming, and it is tedious. So as you can see, I've already, now, because we have the source code in front of us, we can see what we can find out, why he made the decision that he made, right? So I'll show you that here in a second. But anyway, that's the current build of the game. I haven't finished past player 2. So player 2's turn is where we're picking up. And then obviously we got to finish. We're not going to finish all this today, but we got to finish the player 2's turn, the player 3 turn, player 4 turn, and then the managing of everything at the end, the money, the lives, all that good stuff. Wow, when I lay it all out like that, it's a lot of work. I'm scared. All right, well, you know what? Let's just dive right into it. Okay. So we're in the code. Let's go look at what he had. What he did. He picked up the 8 of clubs from the table, which is the card. What did I Yeah, I discarded the 8 of clubs. So he picked up the card. He picked up the club. So he must also have clubs and discard. So let's go look. Let's go look at the code. Go down to where player 2's stuff starts. Which is, this is the player character still. Player 2. Here we are. All right. Turn 2 is player 2's turn. So, okay. So he didn't have Cadillac. This is just to check to make sure, if they have Cadillac, then the game's pretty much over, or that hand or whatever is over. So he didn't have Cadillac, so it continued. No Cadillac, so it executed a turn. This is just function calls to obtain the, what suit each card is and what value each card is and so on and so forth. That determines it later. I wrote, those are custom functions, obviously, but I using those functions later on. That's why I wrote them. Okay, deciding if the AI should knock. Well, they didn't knock, so obviously that this says if the value of their hand is greater than or equal to 20, then they should knock, basically. That's what it does. So no big deal. So they didn't knock, so whatever. But if 0, I have an error state in here, so if for whatever reason their thing is 0, it just errors out, no big deal, but it shouldn't happen. Just have that in there for debugging type situations. Okay. Okay, decision making is what we did. So, since the table card suit matches a current suit and has a value greater than or equal to 5, which is right because we put it down the 8 of clubs. So when we put down the club, we he must have also had a club. So he picked up the club because it was an 8, which is greater than 5, and it matched another club that he had. So he drew the table card and discarded his lowest value card. That's what he does in this case. Now this is if, what is this? This is saying if all suits are different. Okay. All right, I see. So this is if all of the suits in his hand, so he has 3 cards in his hand, right? If no suit is the same, this would be what to do if none of the suits matched each other. So he has like a club, a spade, a diamond, right? So this is what he should do if all the suits are different. So that's the loop that he went into. And then since they all were different, what this says now is, okay, if the table card suit, this if statement right here, says if the table card suit matches one of the suits that he has in his hand, and if the value of that table card is greater than 5, because you don't want to pick up a low value table card. You want to try to pick up cards with higher values to get you closer and closer to 31, right? Because if it's a super low value, even though it matches your suit, if it's a super low value, you're better off trying for a higher value card to get closer to 31. It's kind of like it's about survival, really, is what this game is. So anyway, so that's what he did. It matched. So he had a club, and the value is greater than 5. So he said, okay, hey, that 8 is pretty good, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick it up. So I picked up the 8 of clubs, and that was it. And then once he did that, then it ended. Or once he picked up that card, then it had to determine which card to discard. So we're gonna skip all the way down. Oh, did it discard the? Wait. Oh yeah. Okay. Oh, so it's in the same block. Sorry, I have to kind of remind myself as I go, because as you can see, there's a lot to digest here. Sorry if this is overwhelming for everybody. If this is getting too boring, y'all let me know. We have other stuff we can do. But a lot of y'all just kind of wanted to see this, so I figured we'd do it. So we picked up the card, and then this determines what card to replace, like what card he will discard from his hand. So the first thing to check for is to make sure that, yes, this is a card game that we're working on. The first thing is to make sure that the card that he just picked, he's not going to discard a card with the same suit that he just picked up from the table. So that's all this does, is making sure, it says, hey, okay, the table card is not the same as the first card in his hand, and the current, that first card also is the lowest value, so just go ahead and replace it. So that card gets added to his hand, and he discards the lowest value one. That's all this crap does right here, is just determine which card to spit out. So that's it. That's basically it. So this whole block, all this right there, everything in blue, is what to do if the table card, the one that you can see, if the suit matches a card that the player has. That's the AI for that. Now, this is what to do if the table card suit does not match any of the cards in, if the table card suit does not match any of the cards in his hand, or the value is less than 5. He's going to draw the card from a deck, not a big deal. So this whole block handles that. He drew a card from the deck, whatever it is. It's just getting the card. What is going on here? DCS. Oh, drawn card. Okay, cool. So this is just getting the drawn card and then deciding which one, what to remove. And basically, the operation here is that, okay, only if the drawn card that he picks up from the deck matches a suit in his hand, then he'll keep it. Otherwise, if the suit of the card that he picks up doesn't match any card in his hand, then just go ahead and discard it. So that's what happens. But now you won't know which card it was that they discarded. It could have been a card from his original hand. It could have been the one he just picked up. You won't know that when you're actually playing the game. Sorry, I'm kind of spoiling. Yeah, that's a cool thing. The coding is not born. Okay, good. Glad you guys are enjoying it. So yeah, so you guys, I'm sorry. Well, hopefully you won't remember this when you go to play the game, but you're getting a kind of a behind the scenes look. You could totally, if you knew the code, you could totally use it to like game the system and sort of hedge your bets a little bit. But the idea is that when you go to play the game, you don't know the code. So hopefully you'll forget this by the time you play the game. But yeah, so that's what to do in that case if the table card suit doesn't match any other suit in his hand and the value is less than 5. So that's all determined there. I see one of the less discarded. Okay. Cool, so that's all that. All suits different. Okay, so sorry guys, I'm trying to remind myself what I did here. Oh, I see. Wait. All same. Oh, this is dumb. There's a typo right there. Player 2. It's from a copy and paste. Player 2 has Cadillac. It's because I copy and pasted it from when I did the player character. So it still said that, but that's funny. Okay. So I'm sorry, I'm trying to figure out what's next on our list to do. So I've got y'all caught up with what's happening now. So I'm satisfied that y'all are caught up with where we're going. And I truly do intend to have you guys help me out a little bit, because I guarantee you I will do something dumb. Even if you know nothing about coding, you should be like, hey, you misspelled printf, you idiot. Like, you typed prntf. So, you could always use that extra set of eyes. I'm trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do here. All suits different inline. Oh, I see. Okay, never mind. I figured it out. All right. Wow, that's a big block. Okay, so this giant block right here is what to do if all the suits in his hand are different. Okay, so this is what to do if only in this player's 3-card hand, 2 of the cards that he has have the same suit. That's what we're supposed to do. So now I'm thinking. I'm gonna need to get a pad and paper out for this one. Oh, really quickly, taking a site break before we jump into this. Does anybody out there, anybody in the chat, if you have any, if you know of any mod that adds an item to the settlement build menu, like, you know how in Fallout 4 you can build settlements and stuff like that, we're all aware of this. There are mods that add new things to the menu. You've all have seen these. I'm looking for a mod that adds a furniture item. Oh shit. That adds an item. That adds an item to the workshop menu that you can assign a settler to. Like so say it adds, I don't know, a new store or something. It adds a new. You assign a settler to this store, and then that settler, when you go to talk to them and use the store, has custom dialogue, like dialogue that the mod author wrote, not the vanilla, oh, I want to trade, stuff like that, right? I only know of one mod. I've got a list going here, so if you can think of a mod, let me know. But I only know of one mod that does this. It's called Minuteman Caravan. It adds like a little station thing. And when you assign a settler to it, they have custom dialogue after you start talking to them. The settler goes and stands at this little post, and you go to talk to him, and you can like fast travel places using, and even in survival mode, whatever. That's not the point. The point is, the reason is for Barstool Games. This is important. I'm trying to look at how other mods do this. Call Preston Gravy. No thanks. Unless that's the name of a mod. Is that the name of a mod, or are you serious? Anyway, but yeah, so I'm looking for a mod that does that because I need to do this for Barstool Games. I'm trying to add functionality to Sim Settlements. If any of you guys use that mod, I'm trying to make it so that you can do gambling through the plots in Sim Settlements. So I've got the plot already set and done. I just need to make it work by once you assign a settler to it, then you can talk to them and play the card games. The issue is I don't know how, and so I'm looking for other mods that do that, and I only know of one. So if you can think of a mod that adds an object to the settlement building menu that lets you then assign a settler to it, and then when you talk to them, it's a new dialogue, it's custom dialogue. You can think of a mod like that, let me know, because I only know of one, and I can really, and I already looked at it, they did it in a very not good way. So anyway, sorry, that's all little side tangent there. Okay, let's go. Where are my notes? This is not the correct notebook. You guys have no idea. I have I'm sorry, you guys I don't have a webcam, but is this it? No. Oh, is this it? Yes, it is. Here we go. Cool. Found the notebook. I would show you, but it's my doodles. No, it's not. It's a bunch of notes about how to do this. Almost there. Cadillac notes. Start. No, we already did all this. Here we go. Use while blah blah blah. Someone has Cadillac or if Cadillac is start and end. Yeah. Oh, card. Likeness visual. Oh wow, there's more notes. Holy crap, I wrote a lot of notes down. This is so big. Okay, trying to figure out AI. Here are my notes on figuring out the AI. Possibilities when their turn. When it's the AI's turn, the only possibilities are they have Cadillac, they knock, they draw from the deck, and they draw the table card. So that's that. But we already have the knock part down. We already have the checking for Cadillac part down. And then we're determining... Okay, so the possible suit combinations. So when in a hand, you can either have every card has a different suit, 2 cards have the same suit and 1 card is different, or all 3 cards have the same card and none are different. Okay, so basically those are 3 giant decision blocks, 3 giant if statements for those outcomes. So we've already done one, right? I just walked you through the every card different block, and right now the block we're about to do is if 2 cards are the same and 1 is different. So there you go, that's the thing. So I have notes on every card different. Okay, here we go. I wrote notes. This is why you guys write this. If you don't keep a notebook when you're doing modding stuff, this is why you should. Should not only begin. Okay. Okay, here we go. I'm going to read you guys my notes. I'm going to read you guys my notes on 2 cards are the same, 1's different. All right. If table card matches the suit of the current 2, draw table card, then discard offsuit. I think that's right. I think that doesn't depend, but you can look at how they did it for Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 3. I guess it works the same way, right? If you're talking about are you talking about card games for Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 3? I don't know what you're talking about. Claudia Beaudry? I'm from Louisiana, and you'd think I know how to pronounce that. Beaudry? I'm gonna call you Beaudry. Claudia Beaudry. If you're talking about card games, Cadillac is a new game. It wasn't in Fallout New Vegas, and there were no card games in Fallout 3. But this is a new card game that we're doing. And also, I did want to look at the source code for how they did Blackjack. I mean, it doesn't matter because Blackjack's done. But I did want to look at the source code for how they did Blackjack and Fallout New Vegas, and I couldn't find it. I don't know why. I dug around, couldn't find it. I don't know where they hid it, but they hid it somewhere. Anyway. Oh, I know where they hid it. It's the dang Flash thing. So the way they do it in Fallout New Vegas, it's a flash animation. Like it's a flash file. It's not actually like hard coded in Papyrus in the game, but in ours, the game actually occurs in the world. It's not. It doesn't. It's not it's not like a menu. It's not a flash menu. The game actually runs in the world, so it requires a little bit more nuanced programming in that sense. But anyway, sorry. I'm wanted to answer your question. Yeah, but it's the same way to get in the card game. Yeah, I mean, in Fallout New Vegas, all they did was just have you activate the table, right? You just pressed E on the table, and then you started playing the game. Which we have, like, we could do that, but we're choosing to do it with dialogue. We think it's a little bit better. You talk to the dealer, you're like, the dealer's like, oh, what do you want to play? And you say, oh, I want to play blackjack. Oh, I want to play Cadillac. Oh, I want to play poker, whatever. So that's the way we're choosing to do it. Now we do have the table one, but we just felt that was a little bit so we went with the dialogue way. It works a lot. I like the dialogue way for what we have set up. If you haven't played the current build of the mod, for what we have set up, it's pretty good. I like the way the dialogue system works. But so that's why I'm trying to figure it out. So I thank you for the suggestion, but yeah. Yes, Cadillac is the same as 31 with a different name. Yes, that's correct. Yeah, sorry if you're just late getting here. I've already kind of gone over the rules, so if you don't mind looking those up on your own terms, I'd appreciate it. But anyway, okay, guys, sorry, I'm not getting off track. I'm trying to read the chat and answer questions, but I've got to keep my train of thought. It's crucial to programming. All right, this will be productive. I want y'all to see some progress getting done. So we'll be productive. Okay, so now we're on the block. If the player has two cards that are identical. This is where we are. This giant. I'm pointing at my screen. Obviously, you guys can't see that, but this giant block is where we're writing. We're trying to fill in. Oh crap! Just dropped my notebook. This is the block we're filling in. Can you talk to NPC later? Yes, you can. And yeah, you can. We already have that part figured out. But it's the settlement. It's the workshop part that we're struggling with. But yes, you're right. You could talk to an NPC to play Garavan. But yeah, eventually we want a roulette wheel. Yes, eventually we want a roulette wheel. Eventually, could be a while down the road. I mean, all of Barstool games will probably be done before Cascadia comes out. Most likely. You didn't hear that from me. I don't know who told you that, but you didn't hear that from me. I'm just kidding. No, but Barstool games will probably be done before Cascadia is done, would be my guess. And yeah, that's all I got. Okay. Focusing. So, what to do? The player has two cards in their hand that the suits match, and one card is different. The first thing to check, if the table card suit matches the suit of the other two cards that match, draw that card and then discard the offsuit. That's easy. That's easy to do. Let's do that. Let's go ahead and program that if statement in there. That's easy to do. We'll get it done. I just got to remember the names of the variables that I used. But I already got all the things, so it's not a big deal. Okay, let's rewrite that. If table card suit matches suit of... I'm sorry if my typing is making the mic sound weird. I apologize. I don't have a fancy stand or anything for the mic. So if I'm typing and it's sounding weird, I apologize. If table card suit matches suit of the two matching cards, draw it and discard offsuit. Okay. So let me just double check my condition statement. P21S equals P22S, P21S. By the way, just to help decoding variable names, P21S stands for player 2, card 1 suit. And then P22S, player 2, card 2 suit, player 2, card 3 suit, so on and so forth. So what this says is if the first card equals the second card and the third card is different, or if the first card equals the third card and the second card is different, or the second card equals the third card and the first card is different. That's the condition here that we want to check for. That's what matters. So if the table card suit matches, so all this is now is checking to see if Just do this real quick. If TCS is what I use for table card suit, I believe, right? Right? Yes, TCS. I got that at the beginning of the turn, didn't I? Yes. So the smart thing to do, if you're ever programming, the smart thing to do, get all the variables you're going to use at the very beginning of your state, and then that way you can use them later. So now, if the table card suit is equal to, okay, let me think. Okay, so we're already in this condition. So when this block is running, we already know that two suits are matching. So that helps us build this condition, right? So if the table card suit is equal to the first card and the table card suit is equal to the second card. Okay. Or okay, I'm just gonna copy and paste here. So get this, all this junk. So if that, so P2 3. See, the key is I have to determine if I do. Well, I already know that though. But I don't want it to match the offsuit. Yeah, okay. All right. This is the right way to do it. Sorry, I had to think about that for a second. Okay. Let's just space this out so it's easier to read. Does everybody follow? If anybody has questions about what's going on, let me know and I can try to answer them. But hopefully I want this to be easy to follow along. Because obviously just watching me type stuff is really super boring. But if you're learning something along the way, maybe it's less boring. So definitely let me know if you're lost and you need help. Because I don't mind answering questions. It's part of the reason why y'all are here. Because if y'all learn stuff and then ask me questions, hopefully that'll make me more careful with my programming and I don't make as many dumb errors as I usually do. Okay, table card suit matches the first card and the second card. Perfect. Or matches the first card and the third card, or matches the copy this, paste it there, matches the second card and the third card. Right, and then obviously we're going to open this into a block. Perfect. Go ahead and align everything. There we go. Okay. What are you complaining about? Oh. Yeah, that's a good suggestion. Thank you. It wants me to properly enclose stuff in parentheses, which I should do. I should do that. It's being helpful. Should do that. All right. Thank you, Eclipse, for keeping me honest. All right. So now what this says is if the table card suit is equal to the suits of cards 1 and 2, or if the table card suit is equal to the suit of cards 1 and 3, or if the table card suit is equal to the suit of cards 2 and 3. So if it is, so all right, suit is a match, draw a card, draw table card, discard, off. Okay. This is so when you play these card games, you don't think about like all these little decisions you make, but when you start programming stuff, you're like, man, it's unreal how many like little minute details you have to go into to program like how to make these decisions. It's really annoying, but yeah. Okay, so I'm just gonna go draw the table card. What we want to do, go up. Just get the code that we did. I'm just gonna copy and paste it. Up higher. There we go. Draw table card, then discard offsuit card lowest value. Printf picked up the blank from the table card, from the table. That's what we want. Hold on now. Table card. Oh. Oh yeah. No, we're good. Sure. Take that. Go to here. Align it. Formatting. There we go. Okay. So this is what it'll print out the message that hey, he's picking up the card from the table, and then now we need to determine which card in his hand he's going to replace. So what we have to do now is find the off, because now what we want to do is discard the offsuit, right? Like that's what we decided is what we should do, discard the offsuit. So now we have to determine offsuit. This right here, just so I don't keep track of this, table card suit does not match other two, does not match the two in hand. Okay, that's what to do in that case. But anyway, all right. You can see where you can get lost in the sauce really quickly with this sort of stuff. You gotta really be on top of your game here. All right. Okay, we need to find out what the offsuit is. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. If we can just use the conditions from the original. But yeah, we can just piece together. We can just do this from the original one. If P21S equals to and P21S, not this. This is nice. Good thing I built this condition earlier because now we can use this. If P21S equals to P22S, and then if this statement is true right here that I just wrote, then what this says is if this block will run if the first card suit is equal to the second card suit and the first card suit is not equal to the third card suit, which means that the third card suit is the card to discard. Let me just double check. I see your question there in the chat. I'm going to answer that in just a second from Thomas Anderson. I'm going to answer you in just a second. So okay, P21S is P21S is P23 not equal to, yeah. P22S not equal to P21S. P21 is the one to discard there. Okay. Yeah, should be good. Okay, so discard C3. That's what we want to do, and then what we want to happen is have an else if right here, and we're just gonna get this one. Wait, no. We're gonna get this one. So yeah, that's now discard C2. Else if, and then we need this block over here for discarding C1. C, and then control, and then, then we're gonna discard C1. Perfect. Awesome. Yep. Right. All right. Sorry, guys. LSP21, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Should be good. This is for, yeah, not. Okay, perfect. So that's how we determine which card we're supposed to discard. I'll come back to that in a second, but let me answer Thomas Anderson's question. Yeah, so Thomas Anderson, this C code is not, this C code is used as the base for the game. What so Scrivener07, who has been on a couple of streams that I've done in the past, and is the co-developer of Barstool Games along with me. He also, I say co-developer. Without him, it would not be possible, because he's the Papyrus wizard. So what I do is I code. Our workflow is that I code the base game in C and then pass it off to him, and he does a rough port into Papyrus, and that gets it, like, it's pretty much a 1-to-1 port into Papyrus from C. And then that gives you like the very rough like message. You play it like as if it were like message boxes or whatever. That gives you the start there. And then once you have the message boxes in there, what happens is then he goes and cleans it. With the framework that he built for Blackjack, then he goes in and implements it in the framework that we built for Blackjack, which was a long and hard process. But we got this framework up and running for Blackjack, and now once we have a new card, once we have the source code laid out for a new card game, it's really easy to kind of just put, you know, the bits and pieces in the right spot and let the framework do its thing and run the game like we want it to run. But yep, yes, you're right. There is SWF for the HUD. That's a new SWF menu that we created. But that's it. Yeah, this is C code. It's just for the base level. Scriv's gonna, this C code ports about 1-to-1 into Papyrus, and so Scriv's gonna do that, and then he'll polish it up in Papyrus, and it'll be what you will see in game, which is cards moving around and all that good stuff. So that's what you'll see. Okay. Whew. All right. Now then. Okay, now we have to actually do the operation. So discard C3. Now we actually have to make it discard C3. So scroll up just to find code to copy. Remember, guys, copy and paste. That's the key to programming. You learned it here first. Copy and paste. That's how you program. Yeah, compiled Papyrus code is what is running in the game. Yes, yes. Yeah. No. Fallout does not run on anything other than Papyrus. But yeah. So. Okay. 0, 1, 2, 3. So this is the code for replacing C3 because of the array. The way that arrays, they work like this in Papyrus too. But the way that arrays work, the first card in your hand is actually the 0th card in terms of the array. So the third card is actually the second card in terms of the array. So that's what we're doing here. So this literally takes the oh what did I just do? I pressed Control Z, but I don't know what I did. Oh crap. Oh, Mrs. E. Hi, welcome. Hello, Mrs. E is a good friend of mine from another Discord server that we hang out on together. She does some streaming of other from games in her time to time, but she's a good friend. Mrs. E, welcome. Glad you could pop by. Okay. I accidentally pressed a button, guys. I don't know what I did. What did I do? I don't think I did anything. Pretty sure I like removed a space or something. I'm not too worried about it. Right? Build no errors. Come on, build no errors. Warnings are fine. Oh crap. Oh shoot, is it running? Oh god dang it. Don't tell me I did this. No. I hate this. Ah. Cannot open alpha file because it's denied. Because of course it is. I forgot about that. I didn't so you know how I showed you guys it running earlier? It was stuck in a loop and I didn't terminate the code, so it won't let me rebuild it because blah blah blah. All right, really quickly, I'm gonna have to blind you guys while I even if you're just glancing, Mrs. E, thank you for stopping by even while you're working. I'm gonna blind you guys real quick. I gotta restart the program because I forgot to stop the running code because I created an infinite loop and then didn't terminate it. Shouldn't be too long. Just gotta. It's not like I have to load the creation kit or anything. Not a big deal. I just have to fire up Eclipse again. It is Wednesday. Yeah, it is Wednesday. Hump day. All right. Here we are. Perfect. Back where we left off. All right. Take the blindfold off. There we go. Okay. So now it should build perfectly. Build finished. Nice. All right. Cool. So it built. No errors. I didn't screw anything up that badly. What was it doing? Oh yeah, discarding. Right. C3 is less. That's what we want to get. No, not. Where'd it go? I just had it. Ah, here we go. H. Here we go. 2. Okay. Table card nonsense. Let's replace C3. Yeah. Oh, wait. I'm just going to do this from scratch. I'm just going to do this from scratch. I don't trust myself to copy and paste things correctly. Okay. So we know that we want to pick up the table card and replace it with C3. So what we're going to do is P2H 2. So that assigns that card to that variable, which is like a temporary variable I'm just using for now. And P2H2 now equals the table card. Perfect. And then oh, yeah, no, we're good. And then oh, that's easy. And then now we're going to go printf P2. Now see, now I'm going to copy and paste. P2 has discarded. Yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. Now we're running. Now we're doing it. And then of course, got to put table card Z. Okay, so just to clarify, everybody, a lot kind of with these 3 lines of code, kind of a lot happens. I'm gonna run down real quick what's going on. Okay, so with these 3 lines right here, this basically picks up this puts the card that he's going to discard C3 in one hand, then in the other hand, and then he replaces the card with he replaces C3 with the table card. And then right here, the new table card, the one that he's going to put back down on the table, the new table card becomes C3 because that's what he was discarding, right? So if you remember when I explained the rules, the card that you discard goes face up to the table, and that's what the next person in line can grab, right? So the new table card is this card that he's discarding. So that's what's happening here. Has discarded, so this should all work. Has discarded a blank to the table. Awesome. So that'll do that, and then now we're just going to copy and paste that whole thing for the others, and this is where it goes by kind of quickly. So but instead of 2, let's be 1 and 1. There we go. So now that's for C2, easy enough, right? Enough. Cool. Here, line it. If you're in most coding applications, if you don't know this, if you're a coder and you don't know this, most coding applications, Control A, Control I will auto align everything, which is nice. 0 and 0. Okay, cool. So there, we've taken care of that block, I think, right? Didn't we? Oh, no. Yeah, now we have to, okay. So we've taken care of what happens if the table card suit matches 2 of the card suits in the player's hand. So we've taken care of that. Now, if the table card suit does not match the current 2, the 2 suits that are in his hand, the player is better off trying his luck at drawing one of the random cards from the deck. So that's what we're going to do next. Draw from the deck. Okay, and that's a lot of copy and pasting as well. Thank God I've done all this like a lot already, because this would be even more boring than it already is for you guys. All right, if for anybody watching thinking like, or they probably aren't watching anymore because they left, but for anybody who's watching thinking like, oh, this is so boring, why are they doing this stream? I should tell you that they asked for it. You guys wanted to see this. Yourself the card table. Will I modelize? Claudia, I don't know, I'm not quite understanding what you're asking, but the like when you play this in Fallout, it'll be like you're actually playing. It'll be like, picture like playing cards in New Vegas. It'll be like that. That's exactly what this will be like. But if you've not already seen like the mod Blackjack, we've already done Blackjack in Fallout 4. The mod's already out. That mod is, at least, or that part of the mod. This is going to be this is a new game that we're going to add. The Blackjack is already released, Claudia. If you want to play it, you can go do that right now. And you can see it'll look exactly, if you guys have played Barstool games and you've played Blackjack, then this will look like that, but obviously with different rules, and instead of just you, it'll have other players as well. So that's that. Okay, table start is not much to in hand. So easy enough. Let's just do a condition statement here. If TCS, I actually have a compound condition statement. If TCS not equal to P, right? It's just don't want to say equal to any of them. Oh wait, no, never mind. Wait, hold on. Gotta think. If the table card suit, okay, so we want to, if we want to know if it's not equal to 2 cards. Oh, if I am personally missing. Sorry, I'm getting there. It's actually really cool. Like, you're having to write a program on how to play a card and make sure it's explained correctly in Computer Geeks. Because thanks, Mrs. E. I think she wants to know if you yourself are doing the 3 on the table. Is another ground. Well, no. So one of the great things about this project has been we have interacted with like a lot of other mod authors, and it has been wonderful. The playing cards that are in the game currently, like that we use in the game, those playing cards were a custom asset given to us by a modder called Seven Raven. He photo scanned like real cards and retextured them, dirtied them up, make them look all Fallout-y, and he gave those assets to us to use, and then we used those card assets for the game. The like backdrop that you play the game on, that green felt, that's the pool table. That's the in-game pool table that you've seen around the world. That's literally just the pool table that you're playing the game on when you actually go to play it. It's not in the current update, but in the next update, we had another 3D modeler make us like a custom. I'll show you really quickly. Let me blind y'all real quick, and I'll pull up the table to show you. I showed it off the last stream I did, but if you weren't there, you wouldn't have seen it. So let me just show it off again real quick. I'm in love with this table, guys. It's gorgeous. It is beautiful. It'll be in the next update. Go get some. There we go. There we are. Okay. Unblind you. All right. So this thing is gorgeous. I absolutely love this. Corvalho. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but they made this asset. It is awesome. It's a custom table. It's got that green background, so it'll match what it looks like when you actually play the game. But it's like those tables that you'd see like when you'd go to your friend's house and they'd have like the little, poker table set up or whatever. That's what it is. There's also this one when it loads. But I love this table. I'm in love with this thing. I think it looks so good. I'm a huge fan of the work that they did. But no, to answer your question, we have a lot of other people helping out. We got people who donated card assets. We got people who donated that table. We got, and then the rest, we got some people who donated sound effects too, actually. Some of the sound effects came from other people. So yeah, so we got a lot of people. This takes a village, right? So that's what we're doing. All right, but we need to make sure that it does match this too. Okay. Okay, so this should be easy enough, actually, guys. I gotta think. If the table card suit not equal to Does it matter? I'm trying to think if it matters. This is where I could use you guys. If there are any programmers out there, I'm already in this block, right? Like if I'm in this block, I already know that two of the things are equal. So if it's equal to none of them, no, it does matter, because it doesn't. Shit. Sorry, guys. I'm having to think hard. Does it fucking if the card doesn't equal and the other, if it's not equal to all of them, well, it might not match. We're just gonna be careful. I don't know if it matters or not, but I'm gonna go the extra careful route and you know, play it safe. So I'm gonna code it as if it did matter. Okay. So if the table card suit not equal to P21S equals P22S, that's that condition. And I'm just gonna copy. Playing it safe, guys. We're playing it safe. So when this update releases and you're playing this game and there's no bugs in the source, you can be like, ah, I remember when White Collar said that he was going to code it safely, and that now we don't have any bugs. So you can look back on this day as the day that I prevented bugs from happening. P2, 2, 2. Okay. So what this says, this, I don't think I didn't, this isn't else. I'm so freaking dumb. I'm so dumb, you guys. I'm so freaking, oh my god. This is just an else statement. Dang it. You guys, this is why I have you here. You're supposed to tell me when I do stuff like this. Come on. Else. Because we already, you guys, this is what we did. We said, okay, if, you know, if the table card suit matches two matching suits, you know, if the table card suit matches the suits in there. Obviously, the only other scenario is if it doesn't match. Like, does match, does not match. There's only two cases there. It can't, like, partially match. So it's just an else statement. You guys... Come on, you're supposed to prevent me from looking like an idiot on the internet. Too late, right? Too late. Okay. So what are we supposed to do? Let me look at my notes. Thank God I wrote these notes down, guys. Otherwise, we would be up Poops Creek without a paddle. All right. Table card suit does not match current two. Cool, did that. Draw a card. That's where we went off. Okay, that's where we're going with this. Yeah, now it makes sense. So now what this says is draw a card, meaning draw a card from the deck. So we need to go ahead and draw a card. So let's scroll back up to where we did that earlier. Let's not reinvent the wheel here. Let's go back up, grab what we've done. Draw a card from deck. Okay. P2, draw a card from the deck. Card equals still drawn, blah, 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 Z card. Yeah. DC, dead. Perfect. That's what we want. That little bit right there. So we come back down. Da, 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 da. Two. All right. Okay. So, it doesn't have the two. The hand, draw a card. Okay. So what this says is, okay, this is the literal act of drawing a card. This is getting the number of the card's placement in the array. This is assigning the array that keeps track of which cards have been drawn. This is assigning that card to that array. This is assigning the ID of the card that they drew, just getting the ID of it. DC stands for drawn card. DCS is the suit of the card that they drew. DCV is the value of the card that they drew. So that's that. Straightforward enough, right? Thanks. Thanks, Thomas Anderson. Appreciate it. What is he doing? Evil Duck 99. I am coding. I'm creating the source code for the next card game that will be implemented. It's called Cadillac or 31. I've already explained the rules and don't want to go over it again. So if you don't mind looking up those together, looking up those rules in case you're curious, that works. Any reason why you're flushing after every printf instead of doing one flush once you're done? Yes. I look at this. Someone who knows. I'm impressed. I figured I was like too old to know C or whatever. But look at this. But Keon K. I'm gonna call you K. Key. I'm not going to call you K. K, to answer your question, why I'm flushing instead of after every one is, one, I like to be thorough, and two, because this is a buffer, right? So because a bunch of printf statements can happen in one go, and if I don't flush them individually, then they'll all kind of appear at once. So like the reason this flushes first is because I want to flush the P2 discarded A blank first, and then I'm going to print the card. Like I'm going to just pass in the ID of the card that they're discarding and print that, and then I'm going to put this in the buffer again. It's because it works like a buffer. You have to flush the buffer. Otherwise, if you fill the buffer up and then you don't flush it, it'll, like if you flush it at the end, everything that's in the buffer will all come out at once, but I want it to come out as you're playing the game, right? And if you think that's superfluous, it might be superfluous, but if you think it is, it might, yeah, very well might, it like that might be unnecessary, honestly, but I'm doing it just because that's how I was trained to do it, so that's what I'm doing. Making functions as methods of descriptive names might help. Thank you, Thomas Anderson. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do with the comments here, trying to make them all descriptive with the comments. Evil Duck, I'm coding Cadillac new game instead of long if/else blocks. Yeah, you'd be right. The reason I'm doing long if/else blocks instead of like individual functions and stuff like that is because I'm trying to keep it all as what's what I'm looking for, as streamlined as possible, all as one thing together to help with the port to Papyrus. Because not that you can't do like separate functions and stuff in Papyrus, but it makes it a lot easier on Scriv when he's doing the rough copy over. It's a lot easier to do if and else if statements instead of having to create new functions in Papyrus every single time and having to extend all the different stuff and things like that. Because of the way that, like for example, C is not object-oriented programming, Papyrus definitely is. These are two kind of different methods. So the simpler that I can keep it on this end, the easier it is for Scriv to port it over into Papyrus. So that's why I'm kind of keeping it minimized, if you will. I'm trying to keep it minimized. I'm trying to minimize the effort that Scriv has to do later on. So that's what I'm doing. But anyway, that's what's happening here. So yeah. But there are so many different schools of thought on this. Like the way I'm doing, like I am not making use of like all the different functions and features that C could. Like if this project was only going to be in C, then you could make it look so much better and get much more fancier with it and all this kind of stuff. But it's not. This is solely for the purpose of being ported to Papyrus, just to get the foundation laid out, if you will, for Papyrus later on. So that's why it's kind of singular and straightforward and simple, if you will. It is very simple. So yeah, for those who know like programming and stuff, I apologize if this code comes off as very simple, but that is the intent. The intent is to keep it simple so that when we go to port it into Papyrus, it's very easy and straightforward. Because this is important. This is an important stage. Yeah, like you have to have all these rules and stuff laid out for how the game works. But obviously, what matters is in Papyrus, making it look good in the game is what matters. So keeping this part minimal saves both time and effort later on when it actually goes to time to put it in the game, that kind of stuff. So that's why we do it this way. That's why I'm doing it this way. Okay. So we drew the card. So he drew a card from the deck. Yeah. So now he drew a card from the deck. What's next? Oh, my notes. New card from the deck. Okay, if the drawn card suit match, okay, so then the drawn card suit, then you're just checking to see if the drawn card suit matches the other two discard off card, not drawn. Easy enough. So that's another giant copy and paste. We're doing the same thing we did with the table card, but now we're doing it with the drawn card. So that's the plan. Table card suit matches two of the same draw and discard off suit. So literally all of this, we're literally going to do all of this, but with, yeah, but with the drawn card, literally. So that's going to be fun. So let's see. I think I need this just to be sure. What is, get out of here, Norton. Dang it, Norton. Should have uninstalled you. Okay. Yeah. Big block there, big block. You guys ready? And boom, look at that. All right. Comment, back of everything. If drawn card suit matches other two, replace off card and discard. Okay. So, but now obviously we have to change these variables to DCS. Go over here. Just gonna change. Wow. DCS. Go back. DCS. Back. DCS. All the way over. DCS. One more. DCS. Cool. P2 picked up the. Nope, that's not. That doesn't need to go there. That can go away. We don't need that. Suit is a match. Discard off suit. Suit is a match. Discard off suit. So this checks to see if the drawn card suit matches a suit where they both match. So that's what we're doing now. So now we're determining, same thing here, we're determining which is the off card, but now we need to change it to P2H equals DC. This doesn't need to be here, I don't think. Well, no, sorry. Yes, it does. Table card equals, no, Z's fine actually. Z equals, yeah, no, we're good. Okay, so Z equals that. Yeah, so we're discarding C3, then putting the drawn card into the hand, discarded a blank to the table. Yeah, so we should be good actually. All we have to change is this to make it the card that they just drew. And same thing here. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, right? Hopefully everybody understands why we did that. Hopefully. Play underscore Cascadia underscore true. Perfect, Viggy. You figured it out. You've cracked it. You've cracked the code. All right. Okay. So that's that. Making progress, everybody. Slowly but surely. Add drawn card to hand. Now, we just have to do the case where if the drawn card suit does not match the current two, then discard the drawn card. Okay, so now obviously the other scenario is that the card that they drew from the deck doesn't match, you know, the suits in their hand, so they just throw away the card that they drew. Not a big deal. Okay, cool. So this is if drawn, blah, blah, blah. So now wait, which is that? This one? No, that's this one. Yeah, it's this one. Oh, pro tip. So like, say I don't know, like this little bracket right here. I don't know like where its partner is, right? Its match, whatever. But when I highlight it, I can look at the others, And you'll notice this one has a little box around it, so that's its partner. So I can tell that this bracket belongs to this block, right? So that's a cool way to quickly figure out which bracket belongs to which block, closes off which block, and all that kind of stuff. That's in Eclipse. I don't know if it does that in, well, it definitely doesn't do it like in Papyrus, but it does it in a lot of IDEs that I've seen. So that's nice. But that's pretty basic. Hopefully, if you haven't used that, man, I don't know how you've been getting by. But anyway, so we're just going to add our previous else statement like we did up here. We don't even need all that, do we? Yeah, we're on this else statement, so. Yeah, so we just need another one. Not a big deal. So right here, boop, we're going to go else. Else, and then now we're just discarding the drawn card. Discard drawn card to table. Not a big deal. We're gonna go table card equals drawn card. That's it. And then we're gonna print as discarded blank to the table. Beautiful. Whew. Okay, I actually think that that is the end of like that potential outcome. I think. Whew. I think. I hope. I pray. All right. Where are we? Wait a minute. Do same. Yeah, that's this in line. So I'm pretty sure that's this. Pretty sure we can bring this up. Cool. Woo! That was a lot. All right. All of that was just for one potential scenario. What games? I got a question from Dragon Fortune 200 on YouTube. What game is the Caravan of Cascadia, like a card game mascot of the local area? That is, I don't know. The card game mascot, like Caravan. If anybody knows the answer to this, feel free to correct me. But I'm pretty sure Caravan was written, like the game itself was. I mean, it's probably based off of like a lot of other games, but I'm pretty sure it was like made up for Fallout New Vegas. Like they created it for New Vegas. And if they have decided this, they certainly haven't told me. But I don't think that they're going to write a new card game for Cascadia. I don't think there's going to be like an original card game. Like that'll be like, you know, we're not going to have, I don't know, Sneedle the card game. We're gonna it's gonna be it's just gonna be games that like already exist. Mostly because I'm not that creative. I can't like create a card game. If somebody else comes up with one and wants to put it in there, sure. But so because Cascadia will be including all of Barstool games in it, like all of Barstool games will be incorporated into Cascadia, which means that all the games that you can find in Barstool Games, you will also be able to find in Cascadia in Seattle. So I don't think, people may, the writers or whatever may decide that, you know, blackjack is going to be the staple, that everybody plays blackjack in the, you know, in the city or whatever. That may be their thing, but we're not going to write a new one. To answer your question, I don't think there's going to be a new card game written specifically for Cascadia. If there is, I will not be streaming the development of that because I feel like that would be something that they would want to keep secret. But if they haven't told me if they want to write a new card game or not. I don't think that's the plan. I don't know why they would plan that. But I'm curious about that. If someone wants to look that up right now, if Caravan was developed is like a custom game specifically for New Vegas, that'd be really cool. Because I thought it was, but I could be so wrong. It's not even funny. Caravan could have been around in the medieval ages. I'd have no idea. But yeah. Okay, let me just double check to make sure that that's all good for this block. I'm pretty sure it is. Let's build, make sure we have no errors. Warnings are fine. Warnings not a big deal. I don't care about warnings. But cool, no errors. Oh wait. What? Oh, that's fine. It's not a, that's fine. This should still, forget you, man. This is fine. Right? Isn't it? Yeah, totally fine. No, I don't want to play. Terminate the game. Cool, game exited. Alright. Back to it. So yeah, always take warnings and errors with a grain of salt. Sometimes they mean absolutely nothing. Okay. Yeah, Caravan was specifically created for. Yeah, okay. So I don't think we're doing that. Don't think that's in the plan there. Oh shoot, that was supposed to be there. Okay. Wow. All right. Holy cow, everybody! I'm gonna take a sip of water. I've been talking. I really wish Viggy, go find some people to. If you're still watching, go find some people to join me in the live stream. Oh, I'm gonna have a sore voice. Okay. Oh yeah, yeah. Caravan was designed for New Vegas. Cool. Okay. Ah, how long have I been going for? Oh shoot! Wow, I've been going for a lot. Right? When did I start this thing? Like 50? Who knows when I started? Probably when
I
I.
heard
Oh.
I heard you talking, but I couldn't figure out why your icon wasn't lighting up.
Oh, you there?
Because it was on the stream.
Yeah. Hey, buddy. Yeah, I saw you texting in the stream. Viggy, everybody, this is Viggy. Everybody.
Oh my god, my microphone sounds so bad.
No, you sound good. You sound good. Your smooth, seductive voice.
Oh no, I accidentally had my fucking bass my bass boosted.
That's fine. No, it's perfect. You get like that deep, jazzy bass going on. All right, 11:55 is when I started, so I'm only gonna go for like another 25 minutes. Everybody, hour coding session. What?
I saw that when I walked off the train.
Oh yeah. Oh. Viggy, how you been?
I've been good.
Good. What have you been working on? You and tell.
I haven't been doing anything. I've been like mapping out areas.
That's true. Actually, I saw you did the claim map, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that claim map. That's
not
cool.
all of it.
Oh no, how do you? I have a question for you. How do you like determine like? How do you determine that on a map? They're like coordinates.
Yeah.
Oh really?
What do you mean from real life?
Well, like the map that we have.
Yeah, that's like the height map that
right.
Our map is based on.
But then
just a set grid
like
laid on top of.
Okay, so you over and then I don't. Yeah, I didn't know how the little level areas. So I guess they claim them. Do they literally claim them by like grid?
No, on our managing site, they use like every location has a name, so you claim the name, and then you can see in the map where the location is.
Cool. All right. Okay, I think we're good, everybody. Or well, good for that. Good for that block. What did we just do? We just two. Only two current cards. That's what we did. We just did all this. I'm pretty sure we did it. What are the options? Let's go. Let's think about this logically. Table cards matches. Cards that match. Pick up the table card. Thank you for. Sense, but if it doesn't match, then take your chance and draw one from the deck. draw one from the deck if it matches the card that you have. If it matches. Here we are, drawing a card from the deck. If it matches cards that do match. It's a match, so we what the off card was. Discarded whatever the then if the drawn suit. Oh, sorry, Mike's like, that's me. I'm way away from my mic. I apologize, guys. Thank you. That was my fault. I was like sitting way far back. So then the next thing is that if your drawn suit does not match the other current two, then you're just going to discard the card that you picked up because you're trying to get the two cards that are in your hand, right? So you're going to just discard the drawn card to the table, which is exactly what happened. Right here, table card equals. No big deal. Cool. All right, that's it. Whew. That's that one block. Now, there's one more possibility that we have to take care of. And how much time do I have? 20 minutes. Or what did I say? 55? 30 minutes. 30 minutes. In this particular case, doing what happens if all three cards that the player starts out with in their hand, all three of those cards are the same suit. But we already checked earlier, knock, we know, and the cutoff for that function that I know personally, 20. So we know that even though all three cards match, their total value is less than. So now, according to my notes, this is what I wrote down. What I want to do next thing is if the table card suit matches the suit, in that, and value adds to your total even in the with the lowest card removed. With the lowest card removed, that's going to be interesting. Now it's by value. Oh, that's not that bad actually. Okay. All right, we should be able to do this pretty quickly. Fingers crossed. Biggie, you say words now.
I say what?
Go on with say word.
Oh, hey, what's up? Who's this?
Raelier.
Oh, Roasting Ghost. Hey, Roasting Ghost. How are you? Roasting Ghost is in the Twitch chat. Hey, Ray. Also, Roasting Ghost, guys. No one knows this yet, but I guess since he's here, Roasting Ghost is the voice actor for, at the moment at least, Commonwealth NPCs that you'll find. Roasting Ghost, I know your name. You don't have to be like, oh, who you are. Roasting Ghost, I've heard your voice, so now you've heard mine. Good to talk to you. So it'll be the voice of Roasting Ghost that you will hear Commonwealth NPCs when you play. Some of them. Some other voices will. One other voice potentially maybe. Roasting Ghost, can I ask? Did your girlfriend? Did she pick a character? Have you thought about it yet? Okay, well, until he responds. One of them might also be Roasting. She hasn't picked yet, but we're recording. Great, that's fantastic to hear. Awesome, she hasn't picked. Wonderful. Great, that's awesome. I look forward to it. I can't wait. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off, Ray. What have you been doing, Ray?
Me, well, toying around with making a 38 revolver.
Ooh, there you go. 38 revolvers are nice. Now remember, it has to be.
I'm not. It's basically because the 44 revolver in game is a Smith & Wesson Model 10, which traditionally are actually 38s. I decided to make a 38 version, and make it closely resemble the police and military model.
Perfect. I actually own that gun. Remember, it has to also be able to chamber 357. You gotta add that function out. I'm kidding.
I don't know. I just have it named as RCMP .38.
Perfect. Close enough. Okay.
I hope they could be used by the Red Leafs as a standard pistol.
That's a great standard pistol. Served our country. Well, yeah. You're from America, aren't you?
No, I'm not.
What? Are you Canadian?
I'm a Canuck. Which is why the Red Leafs are. I'm so passionate about the Red Leafs.
That's right. So now, guys, we're blowing through this. Okay. That'd be a great classic weapon for the.
I mean, I have a list of guns I've suggested, including the Sten Mark II and the Sterling SMG.
Sten popular in Canada?
The Sten was used by the Canadian Army, and so was the Sterling. But the Sterling SMG in Canada was known as the C1.
Honest with you, Canada had, but cool.
Canada, we mainly used in the 50s and the 40s. We mainly used British and European guns with the occasional American weapon.
Wow, I'm offended. As an American, I'm offended.
Well, our army, its structure is all modeled after the British. Our uniforms are basically British style. Same tunics and that, and then our very dress parade uniforms are done in British red.
Thank you. Being called White Castle is a compliment.
Wasn't it from like Kansas or something?
I have no idea where it's from, but all I know is they make sliders.
I know this one thing is that White Castle, I forget what state it's from, but there are no White Castles in its founding state.
That's probably true. They're kind of dying off. I haven't been typing. I've been getting my notes. If table card seat measures. Start typing. People are getting bored.
I just got my tax refund.
Nice. I shot mine the other day.
What are taxes?
I also got mine, and I got like 15 crowns. I can almost buy coffee for that. Almost.
Right. That's because your government doesn't run taxes. Mine, I paid way too much in taxes. I got like a good percentage of my paycheck back, and just in tax refund because they were like, "Yeah, we took too much, some back." But anyway,
I've never filed for taxes.
Ah, tax evasion, nice.
No, I've never filed my taxes. I've basically all the taxes. I've never like filed for returns or anything. Oh,
really? Probably should.
Maybe, but I really don't care.
Okay, so.
Oh no, it's fine.
So since I already know that all three of the suits match, you only need to check the table card suit, right? Table card. Well, you know what? No. Thorough. You can already hear it now. Someone in the comments is gonna be a bug. Oh, now my.
I also changed something about the gun. Is that for some reason Bethesda made the 44 revolver 2 pounds heavier than than the model it's based off of.
I was always wondering, is pounds what they use as a rep?
Yeah, well, I mean, the Model 10, the Smith & Wesson Model 10 is about 2.1 pounds, and Bethesda's 44 is a 4 pounds.
Maybe they're trying to do 4 pounds with it loaded. I don't know. But
Those would be some very heavy bullets.
They're magnum loads.
Even that, those are a little
yeah, still a little
dense.
Little dense.
I think they added too much weight to it.
Okay. So this is now when the table. Now we gotta do some mental math, and if the table card suit. Oh, we can just do this as one condition check. Exactly why we did this. All this entire statement evaluate as one. That'll give us one number.
Is this papyrus?
No, this is C. I explained the workflow earlier. Sorry, I'm sorry, guys. I keep backing away from my mic. No, this is C. The workflow that I explained earlier is that we do the base code, like we just get the base out in C, and then we port it to Papyrus and polish it up there with a framework that we created. That's the reason we use C for the base is because that's just what I'm trained in. Okay. Okay, so now we know the table card suit matches all the suits in the hand. What we need to do now is determine, but I already got the value. Because now we need to determine if the value of the table card no, we'll do that like this. We'll just do it again. I'm gonna take this, copy this line. This line gets the value. Oh wait, no. To be double. Shouldn't no, I shouldn't have to do that. I'm gonna leave those like that. We go against my. Oh yeah, that's just me being parent. We're fine. We don't need to call it twice. Hold it once. We don't need to. Okay. We need to. So now, make sure only table card. First thing we need to do, we need to find. We have to find the lowest value card currently in the.
I wouldn't know.
No, sorry. Yeah, I'm talking to myself. I do that a lot when even when like no one is actually watching me program. I still talk to myself in hushed tones.
I'm pretty sure everyone does that. The only problem is if you start answering back and having a conversation with yourself.
Yeah, wow. It's I'm a little bit nervous. I was telling them earlier, I'm a little bit nervous about having people look at me coding. I'm very self-conscious about.
Here's the thing. I'm pretty sure everyone watching doesn't really understand it and won't notice an error.
Yeah. Roasting goes on with weight used to. Yeah, I don't know. Carrying 200 pounds. Yeah, I'm not sure. The weight system is weird. But that's because
like carrying me on your back.
I don't know who did the weight ratio. Stuff like that. Thomas Anderson, thank you for letting me know. Thank you, Alice Stilick. Alice, I'm going to call you Alice. Thank you, Alice. Appreciate it. Ray and Viggy. Viggy, are you still here?
Yeah. I'm just
Oh yeah, there's a thing. There's a bag of concrete, I think, in Fallout. It weighs like 5 pounds, but it states on it that it's several. It's like 40 kilograms or something.
An easy way. I already know the values. Now, it shouldn't be equal to, but I'm honestly right. Like, no, like in one suit, you don't have multiple twos of club unless you're in a rig or something. Crap,
I'm gonna ask a question to see if maybe we can adjust the bags of cement to actually have their proper weight of 111 or 110 pounds. Because they state 50 kilograms per bag.
Oh, does that wait? Where does that bracket go up to? Should go all the way up. Way up.
This is like watching a computer in Fallout.
Yeah, where is this? Find or show. Where is it? Where's the damn? Oh wait, that's it right there. That's not good. Where's this one? Current cards. Oh, I screwed up, guys. This should be decision making in same inline. This is missing a bracket. There we go. Cool. There we go. All these warnings. All right. This goes. Oh shoot, guys! You guys didn't. Got to come on. What are y'all doing? Chat. Oh no, that's right. Whew. Oh, you almost screwed. What do you mean unexpected token? Oh, never mind. It's saying that. Okay. Stupid Eclipse is trying to tell me I'm screwing up, but I'm not. Never mind. Never mind, chat. It's all good. All good. I was going to be mad, but now I'm not. So this says if P21V is less than or equal to P22V and P2 equal to P2. That basically says the first card is the lowest. So we'll just do. And now I'm just going to copy and paste all these conditions right here. I'm just going to do this. Just do else if. This just means C2. We're going to change this if And all right. Cool. Great. Am I over on time? How am I doing? No, I got 5 minutes. Start setting myself up to. All right. Oh yeah, that is if. Okay. All right. So I'm sorry. I'm gonna start kind of ratcheting this up. I've been going. Hey, Ethereal, if you're just joining, sorry, but I'm about to close it off. I feel bad you got here. So basically, just to let y'all know, that we actually did a lot today, guys. We almost completely finished this AI. All that was left here, I'll read to you guys all that we had. We were almost done. So what we're doing right now, determining the lowest value card that the player currently has in their hand. And the reason that we're doing that is because we know that the table card suit matches all the other cards that we have. We're gotta look to see which lowest value card in our hand, and we're just gonna see if the table card value is greater than the lowest card value in our hand, which means that if we pick up the table card, then it'll increase the overall value of our hand. That's all that means. So, and then if it does, if the table card value, picking up the table card does increase our hand one, then we're going to go ahead and pick it up. It's going to be the card. So that's what we're doing right now. But then after that, if it doesn't match, we're just going to draw a card from the deck and do the same thing. See if the card matches and it increases. Adding it to the hand card in the lowest value. If it doesn't match this, if the drawn card doesn't match the other suits in our hand, discard it. Once that's done, that's the last possible outcome. So that's all the AI. And literally, I'm going to go back through, copy and paste it for players 3 and 4, tweaking the variables to match up and all that good stuff. Actually, that's just a big statement, so that's no doing that to match up. That's pretty much AI. And then after the AI is done, that's the hard part. Just go into do it, to evaluating the end. Who won, who lost a life, stuff. And that's not hard. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, got something. Really, really appreciate y'all joining us. Ray and Vig, thank you both.
No problem.
Thank you.
Y'all being here. But yeah, so we did a lot today. We're almost done with the AI, and that's a huge, as you can saw, I started, this obviously before today, so it's going on for a while. Glad you guys. But now, all good. Glad y'all enjoyed it. Thank you. See, am I forgetting anything? Big Ray, am I forgetting anything?
Maybe see you in Seattle?
Yes, right. See you in Seattle, guys. Oh, one thing. The next update to Barstool Games is not going to have this. As you can see, this is still very much so work in progress. This card game is not done yet, but it'll come in a soon update. The next update to Barstool Games will have Roast and Ghost, who is in there. Funny, yeah, very funny coincidence seeing you here, Roast and Ghost. Roast and Ghost will be in the next update. You'll hear his beautiful voice, hopefully. And y'all enjoyed it. In Seattle. Later, everybody.